Yeah, I think we're recording. Hey everybody, it's Dead Linux, or as you probably know, my name by now is Connor, so it's me either way. I don't normally do these vlogs, I haven't done one in a long time, but as you probably already heard today, is Chris Cornell passed away suddenly, overnight. It's May, 18th today? And he was 52. According to the New York Times article, evidently it was apparent suicide. And if you don't know who Chris Cornell is, Chris Cornell was the frontman for Soundgarden for years, until the band broke up. And then he worked with the band Audioslave, as well as also doing his own solo work, which is also very good. But he was one of the part of the bands that really pushed forward the grunge movement, which, if you're about my age, you know what that means. I'm in my late 30s. So when I was, 15, 18, formative years in high school, that's when Soundgarden, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, a lot of those bands formed a lot of our musical taste. And that was before we had indie groups and things like that. I mean, they were, really. But I really got into Soundgarden. I didn't get into Nirvana, but Soundgarden hit me really hard. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about it, because I don't talk to people a whole lot. I talk to you guys. But when I have trouble expressing myself to people unless it's over a couple of drinks and out and don't have to worry about what the heck I'm saying. Otherwise, if I try to actually talk to somebody, I don't really do so. But I've got 200 subscribers out there. Figure why not? I'll use you and abuse you for the purposes of being able to listen to me, right? Well, I just wanted to tell my stories about where I came into Soundgarden, and maybe that'll help me a little bit as far as kind of thinking about it, because, I mean, we've had a bunch of artists die in the past year, essentially. We're from Prince to David Bowie and a couple other artists as well that they're slipping my name or my mind right now. But Chris Cornell was one where of anybody who had the epitome of a rocker voice that could change a nation, that was him. And I like all their albums, all of Soundgarden's albums. I only got the one of Chris Cornell's first solo work. That one was a little tough to swallow, but it was good. Even I think the guy from Nine Inch Nails said it's kind of like listening to how do you tell somebody that they're embarrassing themselves? No, it's a good album, and it's a completely different direction, and he did good work with that. And of course, Audioslave, with some of the band members from Rage Against the Machine, which I thought was great thing. Anyway, when I first remember him, I bought the tape of Super Unknown. It was after I saw them on MTV, back when MTV still used to play music. Not that they don't now, but the Black Hole Sun. And it was a creepy video. And he had short hair, and that's when I first saw him. It was with the short hair in that video, and it was creepy enough, but cool enough that I was hooked. And then I bought the album and listened to the whole thing straight through, over and over and over again. At that time, I had just gotten my driver's license, and the car that I had inherited was a 1979 Toyota Land Cruiser, and it was falling apart, and all it had was a third-party cheap tape deck, and that cassette tape rotated between that and Jimi Hendrix's Are You Experienced collected album, and those two lived in that tape deck for years. And I remember driving around, learning how to drive a stick shift in a parking lot over and over again, listening to Super Unknown over and over again, and My Wave, and Fell on Black Days, and More Than the 4th of July. And it's still one of my favorite formative albums of all time. And, and then they broke up as well, and that was fine. I mean, they left enough music that made an impact that you couldn't fault them for that. They were also in the movie Singles. If you ever saw the movie Singles, they're in that one too. But I remember really being attached to that. And even now, I mean, I will go through phases where all I'll listen to for a week straight is Soundgarden. And I was, I saw it on Doc M. Actually, if you ever follow Doc M, used to get the German guy who used to get us started on Minecraft. He posted that on Twitter this morning, and I caught it before I went to work. And said he was, he heard about Chris Cornell, and I'm like, what? Why would he? I mean, that was an era of that time when they were becoming popular where drug overdose and suicide was one of those things we were afraid were going to happen to all of us. You know what I mean? I mean, the first on course would be Kurt Cobain. And if he had still lived today, would we have Foo Fighters? I don't know. We may still have Nirvana. But it's just those kind of changes that formed the foundation of most of the modern music that we listen to, that we take for granted. Across genres, really. And he had just the greatest voice. And he did a lot of good work, too. I don't know him personally. I mean, at this point, I'm going to try and read up about him to see what I'm missing. Maybe there is something. But just from the music alone, he was a great lyricist. So I don't know. Anyway, this is coming up in a 5 or 6 minute mark, so that's long enough for me. But I just wanted to say, Chris, if you're out there and you're listening, I know you're probably not, but if there is some way that all this wraps together and you do hear it, we miss you and I do too. And this will be affecting me pretty hard for the rest of the day, but what do? You put on their albums and you listen to them over and over on repeat, so sorry for getting all teary. But music means a lot, and that was one of those artists I really loved. So anyway, thank you guys for listening to me. Thank you guys for supporting me. There will be a 200 subscriber special coming up. It won't be what you think it is. It won't be marked specifically, but I'm hoping to work on something special this weekend to have something ready for you. 150 and 151 will be ready here, so it'll be after that. But those are already in the queue, so you'll see those this week for Skyrim Modded. And of course, as my schedule starts to free up a little bit more, I'll try to get more up there. But I just wanted to talk to you guys today, so I had somebody to talk to. But anyway, you guys take it easy. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting me. And yeah, we'll talk to you later. Take care.